blind man standing on the corner.
So, Sonic Unleashed. I'd like to give it a fair evaluation, but I can't, because I hate it. I mean, sure, every piece of art has its own merits, and in Sonic Unleashed defense, it's not a totally half-assed game. There's a clear aspiration to make Sonic Unleashed feel important, significant, grand. The environments around each level allude to a much greater scale, so the stages do feel bigger than they actually are. The score is a collection of fantastic symphonic pieces. There are times where the game is drop-dead gorgeous. Sega has always had a knack for pushing the hardware, and this is no exception. Even the map screen serves as this constant reminder of just how big the mission is. The entire scope and scale of the game alludes to a sense of adventure, a Sonic adventure. Too bad the game plays like fucking ass. Brass tacks here, no frills. Let's get down to the meat of the matter, which is control. Now, listen, what's the most important part of playing a game? Let's not get high-minded here and spin the discussion about games as art and what's significant about play. No, logistically, as a functional system, what is the most important part of the gameplay? When you push the button, the guy does the thing. It's as simple as that. The control the player has is the prime fucking conduit between them and the game world. It is very important. It is integral to the process of play. I mean, of course it is. Control has to be good. It has to be rock solid. If you can make moving a character functional, that's great. That's the foundation of your game. But if you can make it feel good, that's even better. You know what's great about Doom? When you move, you fucking go. You are on rocket skates. And the light view bobbing makes your movement feel deliberate, powerful, and you just slide a little when you slow down, almost like your stride is stronger than you can actually handle. That shit feels good. That right there is good movement. Above all, game movement should be reactive. Even if there's a delay, even if your character is purposefully slow and has a bit of startup, your character should still feel reactive. They should respond to you. Sonic does not fucking do that. Sonic does not control like a person should. He doesn't even control how an artist would interpret a hedgehog would control, or a car, or any real creature or thing that you would control. When Sonic is doing the one thing he does, which is go fast, you are not in control of him. You are suggesting where he is going. You are texting him directions, which he isn't following because he's a prick. Sonic controls like a really heavy RC rocket-powered tank that sometimes isn't taking your inputs. Sonic feels heavy, which is odd because he's a 4-foot-tall hedgehog that is always going fast. He should be light as balls, or at least a middleweight, not this cumbersome motherfucker. And this might work, maybe, because Sonic Unleashed has this big open spaces that reward going fast. The new mechanic of boosting is actually a neat idea because it cuts to the core of what's so primally engaging about Sonic, which is going really, really, really fast. And again, the aesthetics make this even stronger. The way the soundtrack is muffled, like the wind is blowing past your ears, the screen blur as you speed through the open streets, Sonic mightily shouting, "Go!" And it feels like this big moment where you can really cut loose with the speed. Too bad you're clumsily bumping your way through roller coaster tracks and not actually doing anything. Then when you snap into these more open spaces, when the direction you're supposed to go toward isn't purely forward, you're still controlling this 3-legged rocket-propelled mule that is Sonic. Sonic is this awful feeling startup that's meant to make him feel momentum-based, but it more just makes it feel like he's going from wading through molasses to riding a turbo hoverboard. This is a fundamental problem that hurts the entire game. Sonic just doesn't feel good to control. And the segments that are supposed to be the most pleasing, which are the roller coaster style romps through these big open pathways, you're barely in control at all. The game starts to play itself and you become numb to what should be exhilarating because you're not in control. I mean, compared to the night segments, the day stages should be a saving grace, but the control is so bad that playing them feels like a long haul instead of any kind of liberating joyride, which is what a section dedicated to going fast should feel like. Also, the night sections. Let's just talk about the night sections, alright? Because, I mean, everyone's taking pot shots at them being gimmicky or out of place or whatever. That doesn't matter. What matters is they are god-awful beat-em-up sections that manage to be mostly functional but devoid of anything that would make a beat-em-up fun to play. So, what makes a beat-em-up fun? Excellent question, Denzel. Let's look at two examples. X-Men Arcade and Bayonetta. Because these are the two formats in which the beat-em-up thrives. X-Men Arcade is a very simple game, sure, but that's its strength. Old arcade beat-em-ups consisted of you, a big scrolling screen, and an army of dudes that you had to punch your way through. Real simple stuff. Your character had maybe 5 moves at their disposal, and you were going to be fighting the same dude like 20 times. But it felt good. There's a primitive part of the brain that these games appealed to. and that is how cathartic it is to beat the shit out of someone. And the best of these arcade games, the Simpsons arcade, the Alien vs. Predator game, even Dragon's Crown and Castle Crashers, all captured this sensation perfectly. Now, Bayonetta is a far more complex case, because while you do wail on hundreds of dudes, you don't just go at it. No, Bayonetta is a game about mastering your strikes and movement into the most skillful beatdown possible. It's all about learning the nuances of a system and chaining together satisfying combos. And it works because, again, beating up dudes feels good, but beating them up with precision and poise feels even better. The game rewards the player for longer combo streams and stylish play. Same goes for the Devil May Cry games, and basically any other Platinum Brawler, as well as God of War, and even Hotline Miami to some extent. So Sonic Unleashed has fucking none of that. At the core of Sonic Unleashed, beating up dudes doesn't feel good. Sonic the Werehog's stretchy arms give each punch a weird flaccid impact that doesn't really sound or feel pleasing. Not to mention, for some reason, there's a leveling system in the game, so you don't start out particularly strong either, but you're still given waves of dudes to mow down, which you're perfectly equipped to do, but not in a way that is effective or even remotely satisfying. So maybe Sonic doesn't punch good. Maybe this is more of a character action-oriented brawler, right? Sonic Unleashed is meant to be played skillfully, precisely, with a greater technique than is expected of you. Werehog brawling is an absolute slog. How utterly slow you are wouldn't be a problem if it didn't feel like you were just pillow fighting a succession of Kingdom Hearts shadows, but hey, look at that, look at that, look at that's exactly what you're doing right there, all game. Oh man, look at Sonic go, it's exciting, isn't it? I poured several hours into this game because I wanted it to be good. I did. Just for a moment, I wanted to believe that Sonic was good again, because the aesthetics, the look, and the spirit of the game are in the right place. And I like Sonic, and I hope that if I just kept going and going, Sonic Unleashed would reach its full potential. And then like 8 hours passed, so fuck that. I'm all for giving a game a chance to blossom into the true version of whatever it's supposed to be, seeing as the first few hours of a game don't encompass all it has to offer. But Sonic Unleashed isn't some massive RPG. Sonic Unleashed is a game broken into 10-minute segments that are supposed to be gratifying to complete, and they weren't. I just wasn't having fun. And I understand that the idea that games are supposed to be fun is kind of this diatribe that we don't always have to hold games to, but I think we can simplify Sonic down to being fun or not. And Sonic Unleashed is not fun. Yo, Night of the Werehog was pretty cool!
She's from a place where you have to believe, where a buckle black rings hang from the trees, and if you squint when the full moon captures the street,